ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶ ಶಾರದಾ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ರಾಮಾಯ ರಾಮಭದ್ರಾಯ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರಾಯ ವೇಧಸೆ ರಘುನಾಥಾಯ ನಾಥಾಯ ಸೀತಾಯ ಪತಯೇ ನಮಃ. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 130 and also the last chapter of Yuddhakanda. In the previous chapter, we saw the return of Rama from his period of exile back to Nandigrama and met Bharata and Shatrughna with delight, and accompanied with Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana too reached and saw their brother and brother-in-laws. And then Vibhishana and along with his council of counselors, and Sugriva, along with his warriors, too accompanied Rama. They all reached Nandigrama, and now they need to proceed to Ayodhya for the coronation of Rama. Raising his joined palms to his forehead, Bharata, the increaser of Kaikeyi's delight, said to his elder brother Rama, a true hero, "You have honored my mother by conferring the kingdom on me. Now I give back to you that which was entrusted to me. How can I, who am but a young steer, bears the heavy load that one full grown is scarcely able to sustain? To my mind, it is as hard to preserve the boundaries of this kingdom as to build up a dam which has been swept away by a torrent. How can a donkey outpace a horse or a crow surpass a swan in flight? Nor am I able to follow in your footsteps, O hero, O scourge of your enemies, as a tree with a vast trunk and branches planted in a courtyard that has grown immense and difficult to climb, rise up when it was blossomed without yielding any fruit. So, O long armed prince, if being our master, you do not uphold us all, why your servants are in the same case. If you observe the words of Bharata, these are exactly the same words that he spoke way back 14 years before when he came to meet Rama at Chitrakuta with the intention of taking him back to Ayodhya. So that from that day till today, till this date, though for 14 years he enjoyed the ruling of Ayodhya on behalf of Rama as a representative of Rama, though he tested the power, that power had never changed his mind, and even today he remained same with the same obedience towards Rama. That is what exactly is a true devotion towards the one's own God. Let the universe today witness your enthronement, O Raghava, you who are as radiant as the sun at noon in all its effulgence. From henceforth, let it be to the sound of gongs, the tinkling of girdles and anklets, and the gentle strains of melodious singing that you do wake and fall asleep. You yourself rule the world as long as the sun revolves and the earth endures. Hearing Bharata's words, Rama, the conqueror of hostile cities, answered, "So be it," and took his place on an excellent seat. Thereafter, at the command of Shatrughna, skilled and deft-handed barbers quickly surrounded Raghava, and first Bharata bathed and the mighty Lakshmana also, then Sugriva, that Indra among monkeys, followed by Vibhishana, the lord of the Titans, whereupon Rama, his matted locks shorn, performed his ablutions, and he was clothed in robes of great price, covered with garlands and sprinkled with every kind of perfume. Thereafter he reappeared blazing in his own effulgence. The hero Bharata attended on Rama's robing, and Shatrughna, the upholder of the prosperity of Ikshvaku, on Lakshmanas and all the consorts of King Dasharatha attended on Sita. Kausalya, in love of her son, herself atoned all the consorts of the monkeys with joy. Then Shatrughna, having issued the command, Sumantra harnessed a magnificent chariot, and when that celestial car, bright as flame, had been brought before him, Rama, that long armed warrior, conqueror of hostile citadels, took his place therein. Sugriva and Hanuman, whose beauty equalled Mahendra's, bathed and attired in robes of divine loveliness and sparkling earrings followed. Thereafter, Sugriva's consorts, as also Sita, advanced eager to behold the capital. In Ayodhya, all the ministers of King Dasharatha, with Rama's spiritual preceptor Vasistha at their head, counsel as to what ought to be done. The Ashoka, Vijaya, and Siddhartha, with undivided mind, entered into consultation regarding the honors to be paid to Rama by the city and said, prepare all that is needed for the coronation of the magnanimous Rama, who is worthy of his honor, of this honor, beginning with a benedictory prayer. Having issued these orders, the ministers, as also the spiritual preceptor, set forth from the city in haste in order to behold Rama, who resembled the god of 1,000 eyes in his chariot, drawn by bay horses. And Raghava, seated in his car, proceeded along the highway to his capital. Bharata took up the reins, Shatrughna the parasol, Lakshmana the fan, and Sugriva one of the chauris, while that Indra among the Titans Vibhishana held the second that was made of yak's tail, of dazzling whiteness, and like unto the moon, weaving it to and fro over the prince, behind whom he stood. At that instant, the sweet music of Rama's praises rang out in the sky, sung by companies of rishis and gods with a Marut host. The illustrious Sugriva, that bull among the monkeys, was mounted on an elephant named Shatrunjaya, as high as a hill, and 9,000 elephants carried the monkeys, who, in the form of men, proceeded along the way, adorned with ornaments of every kind. Then that lord of men advanced towards the city, encircled with palaces to the sound of conches and the roll of drums, and the inhabitants of the city beheld Raghava, radiant with beauty, advancing in his chariot, and having exchanged salutations, they took up their places behind Kakusta, the magnanimous Rama, surrounded by his brothers. In the midst of his counselors, the Brahmins and the people, Rama shone with splendor like unto the moon amid the stars. And as he advanced along the highway, preceded by the musicians and those who bore the swastika on the palm of their hands, he was attended by a joyous crowd. Before Rama marched those who carried roasted grains and gold, and virgins and kine were there with the twice born, and men with their hands full of modaka. Meanwhile, Rama informed his ministers of his alliance with Sugriva and of the prowess of the son of Anila, that is Hanuman, and the monkeys and the inhabitants of Ayodhya were astounded by the narrative concerning the monkeys' exploits and the valor of the Titans. While relating these incidents, the illustrious Rama, who was attended by the Vanaras, entered Ayodhya, which was filled with healthy and happy people, and where every house was decorated. Thereafter, they came to the ancestral dwellings. the abode of the descendant of Ikshvaku, and that prince, the delight of the house of Raghu, paid obeisance to Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi, and thereafter addressed Bharata in gentle and reasonable words, saying, "Let Sugriva stay in the magnificent palace set amid the woods in the Ashoka grove, which abounds in pearls and emeralds." At these words, Bharata, the true hero, took Sugriva by the hand and led him into the palace. Meanwhile, servants bearing oil lamps, couches, and carpets entered immediately as commanded by Shatrughna, and the exceedingly valiant younger brother of Raghava said to Sugriva, "Do yourself, O Lord, issue my commands for Rama's coronation." On this, Sugriva gave 4 golden urns encrusted with gems to the monkey leader, saying, "Tomorrow at dawn, see to it that urns, your urns return with your, I mean, tomorrow at dawn, see to it that you return with your urns filled with the water from 4 oceans, O monkeys." At this command, those powerful monkeys resembling elephants immediately rose into the air so that they looked like swift eagles, and they were Jambavan, Hanuman, Vegadarshi, and Rishabha who brought back their urns filled with water, while 500 other monkeys drew water in their jars from 500 rivers. The mighty and valorous Sushena returned with his vessel adorned with every variety of gem, bearing water from the eastern sea. Rishabha, without delay, brought water from the southern sea. Gavaya, that is Vegadarshi, with his urn covered with red sandal and camphor, filled it at the vast ocean of the west. And Hanuman, the marvelous son of Anila, who was as swift as the wind, with his huge urn encrusted with diamonds, drew water from the icy northern sea. Beholding the water brought by those foremost of monkeys for Rama's coronation, Shatrughna, attended by servants, imported the tidings of the chief priest Vasishtha and his companions, and that venerable one hastened there with the Brahmins, whereupon he caused Rama, accompanied by Sita, to ascend a throne inlaid with precious gems. Then Vasishtha, Vijaya, Jabali, Kashyapa, Katyayana, Gautama, and Vamadeva consecrated that lion among men with pure and fragrant water as the Vasus crowned Vasava of 1,000 eyes. Then the Ritvijas and the Brahmins with 16 virgins, counselors, warriors, as also the merchants, were full of joy, and Rama was sprinkled with pure water, and the celestial beings standing in the firmament with the Lokapalas and the gods resembled to anoint him with the juice of all the sacred herbs. And having been crowned by the magnanimous Vasishtha, the priest placed royal vestment upon him, and Shatrughna bore the immaculate shining canopy, and Sugriva, the king of monkeys, the Chauri made of York's tail, and the lord of the Titans, Vibhishana, carrying the second that was as bright as the moon. Thereafter, on Vasava's command, Vayu bestowed on Raghava a brilliant golden garland embellished with 100 lotuses and a necklace of pearls enriched with every variety of gem was also conferred on that Lord of Men by Shakra. The gods and Gandharvas sang, and troops of Apsaras danced at the installation of the virtuous Rama, who was worthy of that honor. The earth too was covered with rich crops, and the trees with their fruit and flowers gave forth their fragrance in honor of Raghava. Hundreds and thousands of horses, cows, and heifers were distributed among the twice born by that prince who had already bestowed hundreds of bulls on the Brahmins, and Raghava gave them 30 crores of gold and rich attire and priceless ornaments. Then the golden crown encrusted with precious stones glittering like the sun's rays was offered to Sugriva by the valiant leaders of men who bestowed two bracelets set with emeralds, the luster of which rivaled the moons on Angada, the son of Vali. And Rama gave unto Sita a necklace of pearls embellished with gems, and was without peer, and like unto moonbeams, and celestial and immaculate raiment, richly embroidered with superb ornaments. Then Vaidehi, the delight of Janaka, prepared to bestow her own necklace on the son of the wind as a token, and unclasping it there from her neck, she looked on all the monkeys and on her lord again and again. Whereupon Rama, understanding her gesture and approving it, said to the daughter of Janaka, "Give the necklace to whom you pleases with, O lovely and illustrious lady." Whereupon the dark-eyed Sita gave the necklace to the son of Vayu, the Hanuman, in whom courage, strength, glory, skill, capability, and reserve, prudence, audacity, and prowess were ever to be found. That lion among monkeys, adorned with that necklace, looked as radiant as a mountain covered by a white cloud, silvered by an aureole of moonbeams. Thereafter, all the elder and leading monkeys received fitting gifts of jewels and raiment, whereupon Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavan, and all those monkeys, having been overwhelmed with favors of by Rama, of imperishable exploits, and received precious gems in addition according to their merits, with all that their hearts could desire, returned joyfully from where they had come. And Rama, the scourge of his enemies, Lord of the earth, sought out Dvivida, Mainda, and Nila, and satisfied all their wishes. Thereupon, the festival which they had attended being terminated, the foremost of the monkeys took leave of that Lord of men and returned to Kishkindha. And Sugriva, the king of the monkeys, having assisted at Rama's coronation and being overwhelmed with honors by him, went back to his capital. Thereafter, Vibhishana, that virtuous monarch, having obtained the kingdom of his forebears, returned to Lanka full of glory with the leading titans. The supremely illustrious and magnanimous Raghava, having slain his enemies, ruled his empire in peace, enhancing the joy of his people. Devoted to virtue, Rama addressed Lakshmana, who was fixed in his duty, saying, "O faithful one, aid me in defending the land protected by the ancient kings with their enemy armies, as was the custom of our ancestors in days of yore. Do yourself share the weight of state affairs with me as he presumptive." Yet, despite the earnest entreaties addressed to him, Saumitri did not accept the dignity, and the high souled Rama conferred it on Bharata. Thereafter, that prince performed the Pundarika, Ashwamedha, Vajapeya, and other sacrifices of many kinds again and again. Reigning for 10,000 years, Rama offered up 10, it's actually 100 horse sacrifices, that is Ashwamedha yagas, distributing immense wealth in charity, and Rama whose arms reached to his knees, the powerful elder brother of Lakshmana, ruled the earth in glory and performed many sacrifices with his sons, brothers, and kinsfolk. No widow was ever found in distress, nor was there any danger from snakes or diseases during his reign. There were no malefactors of his kingdom, nor did any suffer harm. No aged person ever attended the funeral of a younger relative. Happiness was universal, which attended to his duty. They had only to look on Rama to give up enmity. Men lived for 1,000 years, each having 1,000 sons who were free from infirmity and anxiety. Trees bore fruit and flowers perpetually. Paranjaya sent down, that is Puranjaya, that is Indra, sent down rain when it was needed, and Maruta blew auspiciously. All works undertaken bore happy results, and all engaged in their respective duties and eschewed evil. All were endowed with good qualities, all were devoted to pious observances, and Rama ruled over the kingdom for 10,000 years. This renowned and sacred epic, the foremost of all, granting long life and victory to kings, was composed by Rishi Valmiki, and he who hears it constantly in this world is delivered from evil. If he desires sons, he obtains them. If he needs wealth, he will going to acquire it. He who in this world listens to the story of Rama's enthronement, if he be a king, will conquer the earth and overcome his enemies. Women will obtain sons as Sumitra and Kausalya obtained Rama and Lakshmana and Kaikeyi the Bharata. The hearing of Ramayana grants longevity and victory equal to Rama's. He of imperishable exploits, the one who, mastering his anger, listens with faith to this epic, formerly composed by Valmiki, overcomes all obstacles, and those who hear this story set forth by Valmiki will return from their journeys in foreign lands and rejoice the hearts of their kinsfolk. They will obtain fulfillment of all the desires they conceive in this world from Raghava, and its recitation will bring delight to the celestials. It pacifies the adverse forces in those houses where it is to be found. Hearing it, a king will conquer the earth. If he be a stranger, he will fare well. Women who hear this sacred epic in their pregnancy will give birth to sons who are unsurpassed. He who recites it with reverence will be freed from all evil and live long. Warriors should listen to it recited by the twice born with bowed heads in order to achieve prosperity and obtain sons. Rama is ever pleased with the one who hears this epic or who recites it in its entirety, and he who does so will obtain a felicity comparable to Rama's, who is Vishnu, eternal, the primeval Lord God, the long armed Hari, Narayana, the Lord. Such are the fruits produced by this ancient narrative. May prosperity attend you, recite it with love, and may the power of Vishnu increase in you. The celestial beings rejoice in the understanding and hearing of Ramayana, and the ancestors are gratified. Those who in devotion transcribe this history of Rama, composed by the Rishi Valmiki, attain the region of Brahma. The hearing of this rare and beautiful poem in this world brings prosperous families, wealth and grain in abundance, lovely wives, supreme felicity, and complete success in all undertakings. This narrative, which promotes long life, health, renown, brotherly love, wisdom, happiness, and power, should be heard in reverence by virtuous men desirous of felicity. Thus, come to the end, the last chapter 130 of Yuddhakanda, and with this, even Yuddhakanda has had also come to the end. Most people do recite Ramayana only up to this point, where the story ends with the coronation of Rama. Does really whatever is being told at the end of this chapter do happen in our life? It is indeed true, provided if you take the entire story of the Ramayana to your heart and observe how exactly Rama faced every obstacle that came in his life and turned every obstacle into a great opportunity, and see to it that all through this time he tried his best to uphold the Dharma and never once break away from the path of Dharma. In fact, we are planning to bring out some of the important aspects of Ramayana and how it affects psychologically and how it affects our life in taking our life in a proper path. We are planning, we are working out on that research activity, and we will going to bring such videos in future. In fact, actual Ramayana, even as per this book written by Hari Prasad Shastri, in this book he had also written a following section of Uttarakanda. For time being, we are stopping Ramayana at this stage, awaiting the installation of Rama idol, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita idol at the Sri Rama Janmabhoomi temple at Ayodhya on 22nd of January. And post that ceremony, probably from 25th onwards, we are planning to continue this story with the Uttarakanda part having nearly more than 100 chapters. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmira Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam, Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.